much for tuning into another one of these Warframe build and review videos. So this week we're going to continue on by talking about the Banshee. Banshee's very good. I like her quite a bit. She's like, I say this quite often now, but I've always liked how she played, and of one of the more flimsier frames, the more caster focused ones, she's sort of one of my favourites. So we'll start with her passive. So it basically makes all weapons noises harsh so enemies can't hear them. This is very good if you're doing certain rhythms, so enemies shouldn't detect you. Basically, if they can't see you, they won't they won't ever know you're there, which is always very good. There are certain frames that do it better by going invisible, but I always like these. I always like her. She's made it a bit more challenging. With this passive, you could use any weapon you want. It will make any sound, which is really good. So start with her ability 1, which is Sonic Boom. Banshee emits a sonic shockwave that pushes through targets and enough force in to kill attackers. This is very good for me. I find when there's a load of enemies just right in front of me. Sonic Boom just to clear them away. Refocus on what I'm trying to do. If I'm going for a melee build, I generally don't use it as much purely because I want them in front of me so I can kill them. Sonar is an ability that's very good for gunplay, which is ability 2. So what she does is she uses basically creates a field of energy. What that does, it detects any enemies that are around. If there's any critical weak points to everyone in your squad. This is very good if you pair this with Helios's, and it pairs up with the mod that you can get from Cephalon Suda that basically exposes enemy weak spots. If they double on that, then it is great. So you can see like it also enhances the critical multiplier when you hit those weak spots. If you use a crit based weapon and you hit on those weak spots, like you'll do so much more critical damage. Is great. So then we have Silence. So using Silence, Banshee basically stuns enemies around. If the enemies haven't noticed you yet, you basically stun them. You'll keep the affinity bonus that you'll get from killing silenced enemies, and then you can just basically kill them, move on. It's great for quickly clearing up rooms if you don't want to attack you. She's a very flimsy frame, so having this ability is quite useful. Finally, we have ability 4, which is Soundquake. So this is basically a ability which it ramps up over time. It's quite, I like it, just for like holding down defenses and stuff like that. Or if you just want to stun a whole bunch of enemies while doing damage so your allies can take them down quite quickly. That's going to be all of her abilities, and now I'm just going to move into what she looks like with some mods. Alright, so I've actually got 3 different builds for Banshee. We have the Resonator builds. This is just one I want to use for clearing like low level defenses, like Io is a really good one. Just go in solo, just spam Resonating Quake just to get the rounds finished pretty quickly. So I've got Corrosive Projection, just to lower any enemy armor that might be there. I've got Power Drift, just to increase my ability strength. We have Natural Talent for just increased casting, which is always very good. Fleeing XP just to make things a bit cheaper. We don't actually care about duration with this build, as we're literally just here just to do Resonating Quake, so we can pretty much kill that. Efficiency, we'll streamline for a bit more efficiency. I found I didn't really need much more than that. If you find you need more, feel free just to use a different mod that gives efficiency. We've got Blind Rage because we just care about power strength. And we have Transient Fortitude for more power strength. We've got Augur Reach for a bit more range because that helps as well. It's basically just a power and range build. We've got Stretch for more range, and then finally we have Resonating Quake. This is very good for just clearing like low level things. Those Exterminate, this is very good just in general. Alright, and the next one we have is more for when I want to do that focus farming, and that's just a build around Savage Silence. It's very good for just general damage. Like you can use it for Adaro for focus farming, which is quite good. So we have once again Corrosive Projection, because I generally fight the Grineer when I'm doing this, and reducing their armor is always very good. We have Prompt Continuity for more duration. The focus of this build is more duration and power strength. Narrow-Minded for ability duration, also cuts down ability range. I find that when I enter the rooms, I don't be too big because then enemies won't be affected by Savage Silence if from like a room away, if my range is just insane. So I think having this done to cut it down brings me to about 82%, which is quite good. We've got Prime Flow for more energy, which is just needed. Once again, Savage Silence. What this does, finisher damage is increased by 100% while Silence is active. So what you do with this is pretty much just a spin to win build. I generally like to use the Guandel. Some people like to use the whips for this. This is very useful for that, just because you enter a room, enemies pretty much haven't noticed you because silence is in effect. You clear them all down, you combo out of builds, you just move from room to room. It's very good. We have Constitution for a bit more ability duration, Augur Reach for more range, Augur Message for more duration, Transient Fortitude for just a bit of power strength. I think it's quite useful just for that. But yeah, that's pretty much the build. There's not much more I need to say about this one. And finally, just my general run-around build. I like to use this just for when I want to make use of other abilities that Banshee has, ability 1 or ability 2, things like that. So we've got Energy Siphon, just to give me some energy, because I cost quite a bit with it. Intensify for a bit of power strength. We've got Vigor to give us some shields and health. We have Prime Flow for more energy. Streamline for efficiency. Constitution for a bit of not the recovery and ability duration. Transient Fortitude for a bit of ability strength. Fleeting Expertise, only taken part of the way for a bit more efficiency to get us to 170%. And we have Prime Continuity for a bit more ability duration. I've been toying around the prospect of potentially putting in another Forma into this build just to see if I can make use of an extra slot, but right now I don't really need it for what I use this build for, but I have a lot of fun with this. So that's going to be everything, I think. Yeah, this has been my Banshee build. Obviously, this is me using my Banshee Prime. If you use the original Banshee, you might need to put more Forma in just to match. It's just simple, like one Forma builds that really just do what I need them to. Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much.